We're in Ventura, California. It's the Chopper Fest. Just looking around, see what's happening. I got a couple ideas of a bike I want to build, and I'm just seeing what's out there. Seems like the bike world's taken a couple turns in what's popular with style. For me, the 60s, 70s, the chopper thing that was going on is really the core of it. Traditional bikes have a really lean profile, and of course they got stretched out just to be crazier. That's what I'm into. I want to build a bike that reflects that. The thing I like about these bikes is it's all fashion. They probably don't ride that good, but damn, they look bitchin'. Forks are all stretched out, no suspension, rigid frames, really stretched out forks, just crazy ideas on wheels. A big part of the chopper scene were these straight four engines, Hondas, Suzuki's. Denver's Choppers was building frames for these kind of engines, and I just think it's cool. I want to take that element of a really long bike, but make it a three-wheeler. I'm walking away from here with a lot of cool ideas. I still haven't found the right parts yet. Chopper Fest is a great show. I got a bunch of cool ideas. After seeing a few trikes out there, I think there's room for improvement. I have an engine from a '79 Honda Goldwing. It's a motorcycle motor and transmission. I want to mate it to a car rear end. My friend Don, he's got all kinds of cars and trucks. The last time I was over there, I remember seeing a rear end from an El Camino. I think they'll be perfect for this trike. Yeah, this would be perfect. I'll just clean this up and bring it home. This is the test fit. Hopefully it's good. It actually fits. Number 2. Well, I'll be. It actually works. Wow, I mean, it works. It totally works. I'm always hesitant to let stuff leave the shop, but the machine shop did it perfect. It looks great. It's gonna roll. This rear U-joint matches the rear axle, so that's a GM part. And I just happened to have this old U-joint from a '49 Ford laying around. So I welded them together so that it's like a miniature drive shaft. The thing about the U-joints is the only way I'm really gonna know if it works is after it's done. The shakedown run, that's what's gonna tell the tale. The way that I've been building things, it's really found objects. It's used parts, old stuff, things that really have no purpose being together. I could just buy a motor and transmission and rear axle from a supplier. They sell trike kits all day long. For me, the turn on is trying to get this thing together with all these unique parts that don't go together. I'm gonna go visit my friend Gary. He's an old school biker. I know he's got what I need.
I've been in this building here for 36 years, and he mentioned something about what he was doing on a bike, and I said, wait a minute, I think I have something buried here that you could possibly use.
Long time no see, sir. Best thing about having friends like Gary is he's been around forever. He was doing the thing when this was popular, so I know he's got what I need. I'm coming to steal the forks I've been hounding you for 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
I spy. Here they are.
Aha.
Yeah, I was going to do a project with them, and I never got around to it. And no sense of letting them just die.
Right on. They're definitely old and used, but they got good grease in them. These are perfect, man.
I've reached a point in age where, you know, I got to start cleaning some of this stuff out of here. You can collect only so much, and then you go, what are you ever going to use it? No. The Z-bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a wall hanger.
Right. These are the real deal. These are old school. These parts are great. I just need one more thing. I looked right next to the ladder, and there it was, an Invader rim. That's an Invader rim, sir. What the heck? This is old school too, man.
That'd be perfect for that front end.
Tire looks like brand new. This is exactly the flavor that I was going for, man. You want the right stuff, you gotta go to the right people. Totally fits. It's exactly the combo.
I didn't even realize that.
It's perfect. The whole flavor of the thing is 1970s wild chopper stuff. So the forks are period correct, the handlebars are from that era, and I even got a front rim and tire. It's a good setup. It looks like it could have been back then. It's like a time machine. Well, it really helps, right? So I gotta polish all this stuff up, then assemble it. I mean, I'm not gonna re-chrome any of this stuff. It looks great. I'm just gonna clean it, steel wool it, polish it. I want it to look like it was from like a leftover, you know? Total survivor. I think these are perfect. You know, it just occurred to me, I've been sitting working for 10 years, 8 hours a day on this freaking work seat. I think it's perfect. I want the seat to be right on the axle. As soon as I put it in place, I was like, wow, it's low back, really wide. It's perfect. I'm gonna put the seat right on the rear axle, so I'm gonna bend a hoop and set the seat. That way I can sit on the axle, put my hands on the bars, and decide where they should be. Using this 2-inch round tube for the seat support, I'm building the whole frame out of this. It's 1/8-inch wall, it's super strong. I'm just gonna twist it up and make my own frame. So I made these two little saddles out of 3/4-inch square tube. They're gonna sit right on there, and that should be plenty secure. This is what I'm looking for. Kind of low, kind of forward. That way with the rigid rear axle, you know, you're not leaning back and it's not beating up your back. It's gonna be a pretty rough ride. So like this, at least you got your own little internal spring working. Wind in my hair, bugs in my teeth. Here we go. I'm just working through getting this frame welded up. I really want to spend my time on the bodywork and the gas tank. You're not going to see the frame at all. It's not a feature, it's just a structural element. It's got a rigid rear end. It has no suspension in the back. So the only thing that's going to give is the headset, the Springer forks. There's no shocks, so it's got to be a strong frame. I think I'm going to set up the top tube in the frame so that the gas tank sits above it. Like you see the Frisco style choppers with the gas tank above the frame. I kind of want to reflect on that. Most times you'll see like a straight backbone that comes through straight up into the headset. I put a little bend in it because I don't want a big like tunnel through the gas tank. I want to put as much fuel in here as possible. Because it's going to be a coffin tank, I was thinking it would just follow the line of this bend. You'd have a big open shape that held a lot of fuel. So this is the look I'm going for. I see the 2-inch tube backbone, 1.5-inch uprights, and then I'm putting a big gusset around through the headset. I'll weld it in all the way around, so it's big, chunky gusset holding the headset in place. The whole idea of the trike, it goes back to when I was a kid. I mean, all the cool kids in the neighborhood, they had big wheels. Everything I build with these far out proportions, it all goes back to that. When I grow up, I'm gonna have the craziest freaking trike or the wildest hot rod ever. This is one of those instances where you realize you can never have too many clamps. You can see it swings down and then out and then back around, and it's all one panel. It's gonna be a lot easier when it comes to bodywork because there's no welded seams. Some people may cut it on the highs and lows, but I just swung it right around. In the end, I'm gonna paint these fenders so they look like some kind of a carnival freak show. I want it to look like you're locked in on some kind of a wild ride. closer, the whole idea with the fenders, you can see now, your legs ain't gonna rub. It's perfect. You got just enough to keep you off of that. You still got your wheelchair action. It's pretty cool. Something about the bars that were on the forks, they just looked a little too small proportionally in relation to the rear tires especially. I just want the bars to be a little bit more forward and not so down in the wrists. I want them kind of straight out. I feel like with those giant back tires, the handlebars should be a little beefier. So I'm gonna make them out of this 1.5-inch round. See on the top of the bars how they come backwards towards the rider. I don't want that much angle. I want them to be a little bit more forward. I want a little bit of pullback, so I'm just gonna put this piece of bar stock under it. And I'll set up the angles like so, and that should be good. Just kind of winging it, whatever looks good. If they don't look good, I'll make another set. How's that sound? Right now I'm just trying to make sure that they're both even. You don't want one limp arm, right? So I'm keeping these angles parallel, straight through, and then they're the same distance off the table. And that's all there is to it. Another issue with the forks that were on the bars was the risers. I thought they looked a little bit too spread out. I wanted something right down on the headset so that the springs really showed. These are the risers. They're gonna weld on the bottom of the handlebars. Instead of bolting on like those, it'll be a clean, clean look. See, I welded the little nut inside. Then there's the bottom plate. Makes it very, very strong. Feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Born to be mild. The bike's really coming together. It's got the flavor. The handlebars were like the final touch with the fabrication. It's on. Now that the fabrication's done, I'm really starting to think about some crazy paint job ideas. But even that's getting ahead of myself. I need to make sure this motor runs. It's been sitting around for a while, and I hope it still works. This build's coming along great. The next big thing I gotta deal with is the engine. So I'm gonna try to adapt a Volkswagen carburetor to this Honda engine. I had this thing laying around. I just put a rebuild kit in it. Aside from my personal belief that everything should have a bit of Volkswagen in it, they're basically the same shape engines. A VW is a flat 4 boxer motor. The Honda Goldwing's the same thing. From the factory, the bike came with 4 independent carburetors with a big junction box that was the air cleaner. It was really well designed for maximum performance, but they're gone. In looking at the Volkswagen motors, they have a center carburetor with a long runner connecting both cylinder banks, and then they have a short splitter like on the dual port manifolds. It seems that they tried to make this as even and short as possible. So I'm gonna try to replicate that. Bought these U-bends, and of course they're not the right radius. They don't match from cylinder to cylinder. So the first step is to cut them so they fit the existing intake from the Honda. The Honda motor and a Volkswagen motor, this style, are pretty similar. I don't see why this intake wouldn't work. Those 2 half circles you see coming out of the castings will get welded together, and then there'll be a port cut on the inside edge of each of them where the crossover tube mounts. Next, I'm gonna make a tube that crosses over the engine. After that, just make a riser for the carburetor and weld a base plate on. I'm using the same size tube and making a cross member that goes left to right on the engine. It'll look kind of like a dog bone, but I'll put it upright in the center of that holds the carburetor. It's gonna go 10,000 miles per hour. It's amazing. This intake is just a shot in the dark. It's my best guess, just like everything else I build. I'm just winging it. Those two half circles you see coming out of the castings will get welded together, and then there'll be a port cut on the inside edge of each of them where the crossover tube mounts. Next, I'm gonna make a tube that crosses over the engine. After that, just make a riser for the carburetor and weld a base plate on. I'm using the same size tube and making a cross member that goes left to right on the engine. It'll look kind of like a dog bone, but I'll put it upright in the center of that holds the carburetor. It's gonna go 10,000 miles per hour. It's amazing. This intake is just a shot in the dark. It's my best guess, just like everything else I build. I'm just winging it. Found this cool little air cleaner. It's more just like a wire screen, but I modified the end of it so that it fits the VW carb. And now you understand why the frame has that strange shape in the front. See, that sits just like that. Pretty slick. So all I need to do now is just make a tube that goes up and holds the carb. Like most things, best laid plans never seem to come to fruition that easy. This isn't gonna work at all. I didn't take into consideration the way the throttle linkage is gonna hit the manifold. Pretty much married to the idea of the intake being this shape. I gotta come up with a way to make this work. I think I'm just gonna make a curved tube that sets the carb a little bit forward. I had intended it for it to be right on top of the intake, but it's gonna be a little bit offset. Yeah, the motor's rigid mounted, it's not gonna shake, so the carb won't hit the frame. It's all good. Bitchin'. I think it looks great. It's exactly what I was thinking. You always gotta jump hurdles to get there. In the end, it's what I wanted. Now that I got the intake squared away, I'm stoked. It looks like it's gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's time to try to start this thing. It's the moment of truth. All right, let's try to give it some fire. Every internal combustion engine is pretty much the same theory, so I knew somewhere it wasn't getting electricity where it needed it. No spark. There's this red wire just sitting here. I don't know if that goes to power. There's a little thing in here. It's no more ignition points. So this magnetic module needs power. That's what it is. Aha. So somebody changed out the points to this cool little electronic ignition. I had this whole motor rigged. The wires were twisted together. There was no fuel tank, no exhaust. I don't even know if there was oil in it. I just wanted to hear it go. Prepare for start. As soon as I put power to that red wire, like a light switch, it started right up. Next step is to get the tank and the fenders painted. Pull this motor back out, shine it all up, run the fuel lines, electricity, and ride it. This bike is bitchin'. I'm really stoked. I mean, it totally works. It feels good, it's got plenty of power. I couldn't have done it better myself. It's perfect. If you just want to have fun, enjoy something, goof off, this is the bike for you. The whole thing with this is to look like a giant toy. It looks like a big wheel. It's one thing to think about a project, but to see it right there, it's great. It's what I live for. My whole thing is just trying to push it, trying to push the boundaries. It's easy to make something that's already cool. I want to do something new. Paint's really kind of a loose interpretation of like a psychedelic 60s chopper kind of thing. You know, it's got the pearlies and the flakes and stuff. I just thought it fit. I mean, I think it works really good with the bike. You can't go wrong with an octopus gas cap, and that's like next level. It's a squeaky toy, it was a dog chew. It looked like a gas cap. The whole rear of the bike was really just something to take your eyes away from the radiator. It's a really simple setup. It's just a mesh screen, covers the radiator. There's 6 exhaust tips, 3 on each side, some cool, old school British taillights, and that's it, bodywork. It's a liquid cool bike, so I really just tried to make it look like a royal throne. That was the chopper vibe. Throne on wheels, and hey, there it is. I just finished the trike. I brought it out here to the Born Free show to reveal it, and it's on. Born Free show was the perfect venue to take this to. It's just mellow, good vibes, great show. I feel like this show really embodies that 60s, 70s hand-built bike vibe. You see a lot of really long bikes, thin tires, everything that was happening before the mass production.
I have a trike myself, a chopper trike ironhead. And this one here is totally hand-built. It's one of a kind, totally unique. Whoever put this together knew what they wanted as opposed to anything else. I mean, you're not going to see 2 of them. And we're looking at the drive shaft on this, going to the rear end axle. Just totally unique.
I've always built Japanese bikes, and I noticed this had an old Goldwing motor in it. That's from the same era as the bikes I build, so I came over and took a look at it. I like all the angles, you know. I like a style of bike called a digger, and they had angled tanks like that, you know, like mid-70s sci-fi type of stuff. And I noticed that before I even realized it had the Japanese motor in it. Once I saw the Goldwing, that just topped it off. Didn't notice it until we stood here, but it's got a seat off a lawnmower on it, you know, and it's perfect. Nobody would ever guess, but I mean, he did the same thing, just home built different ideas, and it works perfectly.
The whole thing behind what I'm doing is it is meant to be displayed. It's meant to be exhibited, thrown out there for everybody.
It's pretty sick. You can make a Honda Goldwing look cool.
And a badass trike that's like super short. I don't think it's probably pops wheelies like no other.
A lot of ingenuity in it, very clean.
The reason I wanted to build this trike in this 70s style is because I guess the 70s style bike was a little more experimental, it's more creative, and I just like that aspect of it.
It's kind of like the weirder it is, the more it sticks out. So.
Yep, yeah, more people like it.
It's hard to describe exactly why I need to do this, and that really is the proper word. I need to do this. As I understand it, you only live once, and for whatever reason, I need to build these things. Being at a show like this, the Born Free, it really turns you on. No other way to put it. These guys have it nailed. It really makes me want to build something else. The next thing I build is really defined by what's laying in the scrap pile. That's how this thing was built. At my friend Kai's house, he's a total motorcycle fanatic. Says he's got some project that I might be interested in. I've been friends with Kai for almost 15 years. He's been an editor for Easy Riders forever, so I know he's got some treasure in his garage.
I said, well, come on by and I'll show it to you. I'm amazed I hadn't shown it to him all these years.
See some Harleys and stuff.
Well, it has its own special place of mine.
Huh. So I'm thinking I'm gonna walk in and go into his garage, check out some cool bikes. He makes me take a hard right turn around the camper into the back 40, and he's got something old from the 70s. All right. Looks like a piece of a Volkswagen.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I got.
This is like a raw piece of steel. It's definitely part of a Volkswagen. It's got some weird frame attached to it. The framework was pretty rough, but what he had there was a great looking, old school fiberglass trike. Kai is a hardcore motorcycle guy. He's all about the two wheels, and that's why this trike was on the side. Whoa! Watch your face, coming in. All right, wait a second. This frame is totally bent. That's why it was laying in the backyard. It's almost like forensic science. You know, you get the body parts to the lab and you assess them, and this thing was bent. This thing got crashed, and that's why it was disassembled, I'm sure of it. It's kind of a bummer that this thing is bent. I was hoping to just like style up the body and reassemble it, but this frame is toast. I'm gonna have to build a whole new one. It's a long walk back from Kai's. Watch it, beast. It was just a burning question why this thing was disassembled and thrown in the backyard. That's the telltale right there. Somebody crashed it. But it's all about this fiberglass body. That's the thing. I don't know what those people were thinking back in the 70s, because this is a pretty wacky ride, all in all. But that's what I like about it. It's weird. Standing on their own, the front is one look and the rear is another look. You got this really cool, almost like a waterfall setup with multiple levels here. And then it goes right back to this strange faceted cubist thing. So it's two different styles completely. It's just gonna be a couple little changes. The first being I'm just gonna rebuild the whole motorcycle. This is an ugly kit. I've never made any claim that these were good-looking bikes, you know? So I'm just gonna cut it apart and make something that I like. I've never built one of these. I've wanted to since I was 15 years old. You know, this is like one of those must-do things. I was actually getting some flack from a couple friends because they said, oh, you said you'd never build the same thing twice. But I built another trike. It's a forward engine. The axle's behind it. It was a motorcycle engine. This is a completely different take on a three-wheeled vehicle. It's like saying I already built a car before because it has 4 tires. Mechanically, it's all Volkswagen. I'm gonna need a motorcycle front rim and front forks. And I have ideas about all of it. It's just a matter of getting this frame figured out. Yeah. It's just small. I didn't realize they were this small. Or maybe I didn't realize I was this big. You see pictures of guys on them and they just look like, yeah, you know. But my legs are almost as long as the thing. So the handlebars are right here. It's like a little mini bike. I want my arms like this. Well, fortunately, the frame is trash. So all I gotta do is cut the frame off and I'll just make a new frame. Pretty simple. Yeah, let's get to it. thought there was something too heavy with this whole chassis. They filled this with lead to weight it down, I'm sure. I'm not gonna fill my frame with lead. I gotta come up with something better. So that means you need some weight on the front. I think I'm gonna have to build a very heavy chassis, which is cool. I'll make a cool tube chassis and just try to keep the weight as forward as possible, probably with an 8-inch stretch from where it was. So I'm just gonna cut this fiberglass body in half again, set the back on, and just see where the nose ends up. I'll put it 8 inches away from where it was and see how it looks. We're gonna do a little milk crate mock-up. Hey, look, this has been done by all the great builders throughout time. See, now there's a little more room. Handlebars here. That'll be easy to do. Well, one thing Rich told me about was the rake of the fork, you know, the inclination of the fork tubes. He's talking about his headset being at 58 degrees. So that's where I'm really starting off the whole thing. I set up this jig here. All this is gonna do is put that same diameter tube at a 58-degree inclination. I don't know what that means technically, but that's what the old man told me to do. He's been doing trikes for years, so I'm not gonna reinvent anything. For lack of a better term, this is more of a traditional build. You know, these trikes were happening in the 70s as kits. So just like the hot rodders were all building their cars for the purpose of speed, these things were all built with some kind of weird style in mind. And that's all I'm trying to do with this. So the only thing that's going to determine the arc in these tubes is the shape of the fiberglass body. I'm going to use 1.5 inch DOM. It's 1/8 wall tube. It's roll cage stuff. And I'm going to come forward with 4 tubes, almost like a truss. They're going to come forward and curve up below the fiberglass body. The old frame was a really basic shape. It was a rectangle tube with a gusset in it, and no wonder it bent. My challenge is to create a metal structure that's cool looking and super strong. Now I'm gonna try to one-up this design by making it look a little cooler and way stronger. I'm gonna use 1.5 inch round tube, DOM, it's roll cage material. I'm gonna curve it so that it follows a nice graceful arc, just like the neck of this fiberglass body. And I'm gonna make 4 tubes, kind of like a teepee on its side that goes right up to the headset. Massive curved tube steel structure. Just to fit these up real quick, I'm gonna tack it in place. You could build this thing out of a giant piece of I-beam and it would be incredibly strong. It is form over function, I think. I want it to look cool, but incorporating a great strength factor in it. That's why using these 4 tubes, it's a pretty delicate, graceful looking design, but it's super strong. It's like the works of nature, you know? You look at your skeleton, it's a pretty cool thing without the skin, you know? Everything should follow suit, right? So even though this is underneath this fiberglass body, it should still be something cool looking. So your forks are pivoting on the center arc, so they won't steer very far. See that? So that's there, you only have that much steering. So I gotta bring them in. Well, now it'll steer, see? Before, the tubes are so wide that these things wouldn't turn, but now it's fine. This piece is gonna get cut back out. My whole concept is just fitting these tubes up to it. That's why I'm only gonna spot weld everything. I'm gonna make 2 more lower tubes the same way as I did the upper ones. Put it through the roller, trim them back. That's next. I'm building my own custom thing, and that's really what it's about. You know, everybody's got their idea. I see pieces of this machine that I don't like, so they're going away. No regrets. I think I'm just gonna come vertically with 2 round tubes and just some kind of an angle iron straight across. That's the whole deal. Pops right back on like it used to. The thing is, you need all the stuff. You know, I got a good start on it, but you can't commit to anything design-wise until you have all the other elements. So I still got to get rear tires, an engine, and transaxle. Here we go. I didn't come out here for recreation, you know? I'm on a shopping mission. So I got the engine, I got the tires, the rims. I'm feeling pretty good about it. The transaxle is kind of a touchy thing. They're expensive for good ones, so I'm gonna talk to my friends, see if I can't just get a used one that'll work. Been drilling all kinds of pieces of metal. All I got from Rich was this fork set, these 2 shocks, and the front tire. So I need to get bolts, bearings, bushings, metal plates, lock washers, the whole deal. The big challenge is to make this whole assembly look good and operate properly. And it's really custom tailored for this bike. Rich's whole take on this front fork was that the Springer forks would be lost up in this big fiberglass body. You wouldn't see them. So he said, put the springs down low. You'll see the whole setup right next to the rim. He thought it was a perfect complement for this fiberglass nose, and I agree. This is what I was expecting with the trike. There's a lot of mechanical stuff that is pretty important, like the alignment of the front tire, the function of the springs on the forks, the pivoting of all the controls. If the forks fail, you fail. Especially if the controls fail, there's trouble. What I'm thinking is if we set this at 58 degrees, like you recommended, then we should be able to just tack weld this stuff in place. Setting up the rake is very important because the old dude says that's what's up. So I'm paying a lot of attention to make sure that it's to his specs. Pretty sneaky. This is all the gear for the headset. Yesterday at the machine shop, we blueprinted this pretty much and set up these holes so that they match what the existing lower bracket has. So just for simplicity, I'm gonna commit to this. See, I bored that center out yesterday, so a 1-inch will fit right through there. For me, the first step is this upper plate. See how it'll go on here? That, and then the bolts will go inside like that. See, that's the setup. But I don't want a big plate on top of the forks. That looks funny. So I don't think I need to tell you that. I'm gonna trace out a shape around these bolts, trim this plate back, and then trim the fork legs. So you may be asking yourself, did he just cut that with a wood saw? Yeah, it's a carbide tipped saw you would use for wood. They go through aluminum. It's not the most optimal thing to cut aluminum with. You'll see it loaded up a little bit on the tips, but with a brand new blade, it goes pretty quick. That's 5/8 aluminum. I'm gonna put these in place just to hold them. I'm gonna weld the sides in first, and I can take the plate off and weld the top. Goes through there. Followed the old dude's lead, and you know, he's done this before. All I had to do was make it my own. My job is done. 58 degrees to freedom. It's gonna be awesome. Need a VW transaxle. Don says, hey man, I got something. It used to work. It's been sitting for years and I don't want it. So no matter what condition, if he says that it's gonna turn all the gears, then I'm cool with it. It is ugly, but I got some degreaser and a seal kit. I'll make it happen. Just thinking about what these tires are gonna look like on here, you know? I'm all about putting this thing together right now. This is the look I wanted, you know? 70s slotted mags, Mickey Thompson Sportsman tires. That's the look, man. This is a 70s machine. Took about a foot out of the fork legs. Spur of the moment decision. It caught my eye. I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was just too long. But these handlebars are too small. They came out of that hole like that, so the fork's in the right spot. But see, they just look a little too dinky. I'm thinking about like a tube straight across this way and then 2 arches going right down into the headset. I feel like the whole flavor of this bike is just gonna be curved tubes. The idea of building these bars kind of mimics my whole process. You know, I didn't have a definite end to this. You know, I had a couple ideas, mainly that pullback, that sweeping bend coming off the headset, and then the top bar was really up in the air. It's really just put the pieces in place and see what looks and feels right. I think I could live with that. That's, I don't want it to be too curved because it's gonna look droopy, you know? That works for me. The base design of this was like a beach cruiser style, you know? They weren't like high ape hangers or super low drag bars. I just wanted a nice, comfortable, middle of the road seating position, you know, with your hands right around your shoulder height. Some people can sketch it out, but I just take the metal and bend it around and hold it in place and just see what seems right. This is kind of interesting. If I splice them together like that, that's pretty space-aged. You know, I had about 4 different ideas in 20 minutes, and something happened. I ended up with handlebars. This thing's getting close. It's looking like a trike. So I'm excited to have Kai check it out because now you get a real sense of what it's gonna be. All right, I really got this chassis dialed in. Went off on the rear end of it. I got everything buttoned up, cleaned, and painted. Gas tank's in, the transmission's resealed, the foot pedals are all hooked up. Last thing to do is get this body into one piece. Got my friend Jack, he's a great upholsterer. He gave me the tip on how to make some seat pans that would help him just move right through this. I'm gonna make a couple templates, cut steel to match, and just deliver them to Jack. The seats are in his hands, whatever he wants to do. He knows what I'm up to. Simple, typical template making. You know, I've got my fiberglass body. I just make a cardboard template on it until it's the shape I'm happy with. You know, it's easier to cut than metal. So you whittle down the cardboard to the final shape, transfer that shape to the metal, and cut it and deliver it. You know, I don't think I could have made that any better myself. It's all right. The last part of the operation is this fiberglass repair. Without it, it would look like the body's in 2 pieces, and it's really just a cosmetic thing. Got all this fiberglass from 3M, and it's time to use it. It's a messy operation, but somebody's got to do it. The fiberglass thing is just a cosmetic deal. I've got plenty of body mounts in place. I just need a smooth surface that I can paint. So yeah, I'm just gonna lay this on, and then I'll cut back. Later, I'll cut back whatever I don't need, but at least it's in place. I like the process in that you can create these complex shapes pretty simply, but it's a stinky, itchy process. You know, it's hot weather, and it's kind of miserable. You know, I like the results, but the process is pretty gnarly. I got all this Elastirap product from Eastwood. It's pretty crazy stuff. It's a liquid rubber coating that you can spray with a paint gun. So it's a sprayable rubber coating that is either permanent or if you prep the surface correctly, you can peel it off. I think it's gonna be perfect for this trike. I'm setting up a whole series of tape lines that are gonna accent these ridges in the body. I really like the last graphics that were on it, but these new ones I think are really gonna help out the design that whoever created this fiberglass shape. I think it's gonna really complement that. I sprayed the whole thing silver, and just like most of the work I do, I stared at it. Something you would see, you know, in the 60s or 70s before all these special candy paints and all the airbrushing fad got so developed. So that last line comes down like that, and that's there, and yeah, we got it. right, it's the moment of truth. My big concern was that this stuff would all glue together. Oh, look at that. Perfect parting line. I was worried that it was going to stretch and create rough edges. Quality control. Here he is. What do you think, man? You know, I'm pretty happy with this. It would have been easy to overdo it. So I spent a lot of effort to underdo it. I think it's paid off. Everything here is what I was thinking. The tones are right on. I think if I clear coat the whole thing with this really fine metal flake, it's just gonna give a little pop in the sunlight. And that's it. I think this is pretty classy. It's not overblown. It shows off the body lines. And it's full custom. I got the trike all squared away, got it registered, took it on the Shakedown run. The whole thing was figuring out how to ride this. You don't lean into it like a motorcycle. So before I got on the road, I took it out to the park, did a couple wheelies, a couple slides in the dirt just to see how it felt, how stable it was. And this thing tracks great. The whole thing is that this was purely inspired by other people. There was no check and balance like on other projects. So having the freedom to just do whatever I want, it's really cool. I drove it up here to Rich's in Fraser Park. I felt it was so important to bring it back here and show them, hey man, that you turned me in this direction and here it is.
To see him come riding in the front driveway with it was fabulous.
Pulling up, I could see Rich's face, you know, he was excited.
That front end is terrific.
Those are the forks I got from you.
Look at that.
I made them. These are the shocks, the front rim I got from you.
I didn't know I was inspiring him that great. It was fabulous. It looked great. He did the shocks the way I had told him, and then he improved on them by doing the gooseneck the way he did. The hidden frame is marvelous. That's a great idea on that part. I could sell that idea every day of the week. That's a good unit.
The way I chopped the body back and the modifications I made, he was into it.
That's beautiful.
Well, thanks, man. That was the first time I ever put one of these together. Thanks.
You're a triker.
There we go. We've got a couple old school trikes, new school trike, and Kai has got a brand new Harley trike. He's got it from the factory, fresh, and he's bringing it up here today to roll out with us.
I do test rides for Easy Riders and for another magazine we have called Road Iron. And I happened to get a trike for the first time ever. And the trike is great. It's called a freewheeler. It's brand new for 2015.
Kai was a naysayer to the trike thing, and now here he is. He's driving 80 miles out on his new trike just to check out the scene. You know, it's a great day. We're gonna go for a cruise.
It was fun to watch the trike in action. It was just pieces and parts and, you know, garbage basically that I had sitting in my backyard for I don't know how long, and he made this out of it, and it's pretty wild.
What he's done to it is really great. I want to do something with him.
Rich has got projects all over the place. He's got dune buggies, he's got tractors, trailers, trikes, motorcycles. I got a bunch of crazy ideas. This is just the tip of the iceberg.